I've got a bone to pick.
Oh boy.
I haven't really. I just
I
thought
you
I
wanted
would
to
sound
sound dramatic. Yeah, okay.
Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, so welcome everyone to the stream. Maybe Robo can shout some people out in the chat before we get going here.
Sure. Oh, EscapeAoE in the chat, poggers.
Good to see you, EscapeAoE.
Yeah,
it's
good
nice
to hear.
know we've always got someone.
We've got Snape Snaps, Lavyhead. Hey Nadia, how's it going? Kumar for friends. Ghost of Yoda, how's it going, man? It was good meeting up with you in Hamburg. Gaming Violinist. Oh, that's Will's friend.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, I've got a quick question. Why is ECL 1v1 not being cast? We'll be casting the round of 16 recorded games tomorrow and Sunday.
Yeah.
As we've been doing. So yeah,
We should probably address that before we, go any further, really.
Yeah.
So we're casting the recorded games as always. Our plan from the very start has been to cast the recorded games. So although there are some live games happening randomly, we are not covering them. That's up to everyone else to cover, and then we will focus on doing the whole show and nothing but the show on the Saturday and Sunday this weekend, and then obviously the next weekend after that. Onwards. Yeah, so nothing will change on our end, but we decided to open it up basically so that everyone else could stream their games and to help the Chinese community to cover their games as well, since they struggled doing recorded games.
And the time zone wasn't really good for them. Starting at 14 GMT, it's already midnight.
Exactly. You can't expect the Chinese community to stay up all night. So, we tried to find a nicer balance, really.
Yeah, basically.
So, yes,
and,
that's
and hopefully people still enjoy the whole day of casting, basically. Instead of just getting one cast one day and then the next another day, and it's all random times. It's all one day, one time. Everyone knows where to see it.
Yeah. I mean, I certainly hope, at least, that by having it consistent on our channel, that people will know what to expect. The issue that we've seen already, I mean, it's only the first round that we've done live games, and the issue that we're having is that there's so many games at random times that aren't particularly good. So, you've got games happening at 10 AM on a Thursday. Who's watching that?
Yeah.
Not many people. So we're going to still stick to our format, and we're going to do that.
Please don't do this for team games. We enjoy watching live matches. None of the ECL games for the entire tournament have been live on this channel. So
not on our channel, no.
If you've been watching any ECL coverage from us, it's always been recorded games.
Yeah.
And that's going to just continue as it is.
Yeah. I mean, our focus really is on the production value with the ECL casting. We would rather cover all the games chronologically and have them back to back without any delays, or at least minimal delays.
Yeah, basically, tech issues aside.
Yeah, right, of course. But you're going to encounter tech issues on live games. There's usually a lot more delay on live games, and 1v1s aren't too bad actually. But team games, especially the 4v4s.
Yeah, it takes forever when they're doing the civ drafting and the map drafting. Sometimes the games don't start for 40, 45 minutes after the scheduled time.
I mean, Robo knows all about this because it's Robo's job to admin these games. Yeah. I don't envy you one bit.
No, it wasn't very fun when I was in Australia. Like, the games start at midnight and they finish at like 4 or 5 AM, like a best of 4. Yeah. Best of 5, sorry.
So, I mean, you're looking at least an extra hour.
Yeah, basically.
Just for a 4v4, which you can cut out entirely with Rex, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if you've got the patience for it, if you enjoy the hype of live games, then you can definitely check out some of the other casters that will be doing live coverage. Yeah. I would recommend to go to AoE Zone.
Yeah, and check the sidebar calendar there.
Yeah, so
the streamers just sign up for the matches.
Yeah,
if they're casting it, basically.
So it's super easy to find out who's casting them on the right sidebar there. One thing we'll address as well before we get going, if you can hear some kind of background noise, that's because we are next door to a gym. Just through that wall, there is a gym. It's not any gym, it's a CrossFit gym. And
real gym.
They're very angry and very muscly at the same time.
And very loud as well.
Very loud. Yeah. We have very loud speakers, but it would be obnoxious to play that music now while we're sitting
then you won't be able to hear us. Exactly. So, like, it's not overly loud, it's just sort of like a bit of background noise.
Yeah, I don't mind it, to be honest. It gets me hyped.
Yeah, you want to just get up and start going at it, maybe?
I thought maybe, being next to a gym would motivate me.
To go to the gym?
To not go to the gym. Well, we have a gym.
Oh,
we have a gym in our garage.
You brought a gym.
Yeah. So we've got some gym equipment in the garage. So far, it is untouched, but it exists.
It's there.
So when I find some energy, once I get my life in order after the big move to Manchester, then maybe I'll start lifting some iron.
My workout routine at the moment is just like once a week, I just look at the gym equipment and think, next week I'll start.
That's enough to put you into a sweat.
Yeah, like just looking at it, thinking about the hard work. No, that's enough for me.
Robo's getting the hot sweats looking at the big irons.
Yeah.
Is the chat saying we're all good? Are we?
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any complaints. There's just lots of people laughing
Awesome.
about the gym and not going to the gym and
Yeah. Well, I met the owner
problems.
of that gym. You know, we bumped into him a couple of times, and I said it's quite ironic, really, that we're setting up a studio about gaming next to a gym, and he was like, "Oh, well, don't worry about it. My son's a nerd." I was like, "Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. Really,
Brilliant.
really nice
That's
words
a nice
from you
stereotype.
there." But I do think that it's quite good to stay fit and healthy. If you're an athlete, you've got to stay fit and healthy. That's a given.
Well, that's their
if you're
job,
an
right?
esports athlete, it helps. It does help.
None of us are esport athletes, though.
We're not.
Yeah, we're like the coaches and the.
But
the
you're
casters.
going for 2K. You're
but, like,
soon going to be.
2K is not good enough to be an athlete.
What's 2K? That's like top 0.2% or something.
Probably less than that, but yeah, something like that.
It's a really small number of players. I mean, at that point, you are considered an elite gamer.
I would say that I'm pretty good at the game, yeah, but not good enough. Yeah,
pretty good.
I'm pretty good. I can win games sometimes, but
Yeah.
I don't think I'm at the stage where I could, win anything.
Ah, right. You must be talking about 2K HD. Right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're on to me.
So today's plan, then, we're going to be chatting with you guys for a bit. We're going to be taking questions in the chat. We're going to be doing what I call a community news podcast. It's basically where we sit down for half an hour to an hour, talk about what's going on in the community, recent events, recent happenings, maybe some recent dramas.
Maybe.
Unfortunately, there is no drama today.
Because we're all a happy community, right?
Yeah, we do love a bit of juicy gossip.
Sometimes.
But we're a little bit low on the drama at the moment, so maybe next time.
Maybe
next time.
people in chat can start some drama.
Yeah,
on
you can
Rezone,
stir
and
the
then we
pot
can
a
talk
little
about
bit.
it next week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'll work.
Give us some content.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about NAC today. We're going to talk a little bit about King of the Desert, and then after that, we're going to be having a best of two.
Yeah.
Best of two. Get hyped for
Yeah.
a best of two.
2 games.
Whoever thought
Both
that
games
was a good
played.
idea, between Ham and Will, and they're going to be playing 1v1 in Age of Empires 2, and we're going to see if your coaching has
Will.
rubbed off a little
Yep.
bit. I'm not saying you've been rubbing off Ham. I'm just saying, not Ham, Will.
Will.
I'm just saying that maybe you're going to have improved his skills.
I'm definitely rooting for Will to win. Like,
Of course, I mean,
obviously,
he's your
right?
student.
Yeah,
Of
he's my
course you're
student. I have to
rooting
get
for your
I've got
boy.
everything behind him. Like, before the stream, we were just sitting down having a chat while we were getting ready. He's like, Robo, guys, like, what's my game plan? I need some tips, like just the basics to get me through it. And I think it's enough to make the games competitive.
And I think Ham might be out of practice as well.
Yeah.
Because he's been playing CSGO.
Yeah, and he never really played much Age of Empires 2 to begin with. So
Neither do I anymore, to be fair.
Yeah, but
I mean, I want to.
you're not playing either, so
Just you wait. Just you wait. You think 2K is safe? I'm going to knock you down a notch.
are you saying
Mr.
you're going to get
Robot.
to 2K?
Easy.
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 Oh god.
I'm a natural gamer. I'm talented.
Okay.
I've got high dexterity in my fingers and in my toes as well. So if
you get a mouse, you get the foot pedals as well,
yeah,
keys.
yeah, I actually have a driving wheel and pedals.
Oh,
You know,
try to play.
I put Idle Villager on the accelerator. So if you think that you can keep up with that, think again.
Oh man, next level.
So I guess we'll finish off our schedule for the day. After the best of two, we are going to be doing community games with you.
Yes,
and
with you.
What are they going to be?
Mostly Age of Empires 2 at this point.
I put you on the spot.
Yeah, you put me
now.
on the spot. I'm like, oh no, have we planned anything? I think we were discussing we're probably going to do something on King of the Hill.
Yes, we're going to do a King of the Hill with one of Hank's maps.
Okay, cool. And I think we're going to try to do the Assassin's game again. But this
Secret
time
Assassin.
Zach is not in charge, so it should work this time.
Yeah, last time I done goofed.
Yeah,
This
very
time
goofed.
Robo will do the secret assassination.
I'll make sure it's all
people.
sorted.
Yeah, so that will happen, and then we'll do an AoE3 community game with Will
I think probably going to continue using his the resource crates
free-for-all
map.
thing?
Yeah, the tiny
Crates?
free-for-all map thing.
Yeah,
I
that
keep
map's
playing that
pretty
thing.
great. I like that one. I had a lot of fun watching that. I'd like to cast that if Will doesn't mind my interjections in his commentary.
No, No, there's too many bad puns
hang my
for
head
the
in
first.
shame.
How long have we been live for? Like 10 minutes? It's too many. I need to slow it down a bit.
I'll calm down.
Yeah.
Okay, anything from the chat before we go into the
Not really. Everybody's just laughing at you. ZaC2K.
Are they laughing
lol.
at me or with me?
I think they're definitely laughing at you at this point.
Shit. Okay.
I don't think anyone believes
No
that
one's
you could
convinced.
get. No one believes you can get 2K Boobly.
Look, I mean, I'm just going to have to dab on the haters, clearly, and...
And just show them who's got it.
Show them who's got it.
Yeah.
I've got it. Right. NAC2.
Yeah.
We were there.
For some of it.
Sort of. So, first of all, you know, a lot of people were asking, you know, where's ZeroEmpires? Where's T90? And we were invited, and we both wanted to go, but it was a really long event. And, you know, it's, I think, 12 days total for the casters.
Something like that. Yeah, because there's like a day before and a day after at the end, basically, for your flights. And
yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's quite a long time. And it's a bit too much time for me personally to take off. Obviously, as you know, we've been setting up the studio, had a lot of work to do. So that's why I wasn't there for the casting. And I really appreciate Nili for inviting me. I would have loved to do it. Just happens that, you know, circumstances, time wasn't really available. And I think that all the casters who did go did an awesome job.
yeah, for sure.
For sure. And, you know, it was great because Memb was there. That was one of the first sort of LAN events that Memb had made it to.
Yeah, I believe so.
So it was really cool for him. And then also to have Barbecue Turkman all the way from Australia.
All the way from Australia. I felt like I had my little piece of home for an evening when I was hanging out with him.
Exactly, and that's just awesome, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
good.
Barbecue Turkman, legend, been in the community 8
Forever.
years
Yeah.
now, like longer maybe, I don't know. But he was there, and then they got Ornlu in, which I think was a great choice as well, because Ornlu is a fantastic caster, but a little bit less well known. He's
sort of like one of the up and coming ones. He only really started casting about this time last year-ish.
Yeah, and I think he's got good game knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, which really helps.
He's like 17, 1800 on Boobly, so he's a little bit better than you are.
Oh, thanks, Robo.
Yeah,
appreciate it. Yeah, at least, you know, keeping me honest. Over here. Yeah, so Ornlu was there, and then they had the players casting, and did I miss another caster? I think that was it, right?
It was the 3 invited casters and Nili plus the players.
Of course. So we'll talk a bit more about the casting later, but Robo and I, obviously we had to go. We couldn't not go.
Of course not.
I didn't go as a caster. You didn't go as an admin.
Nope.
And it was nice for us because we got to kind of enjoy our time there.
Yeah.
Not saying that the other casters didn't, but I'm saying we didn't have any responsibilities. So I think you got there on the Thursday?
Yeah, I arrived Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, you arrived Thursday afternoon. I arrived Friday afternoon, evening, and then we spent the weekend in Hamburg, and we met with everyone. We went to the meet and greet.
Yeah, basically just had a big, long party, right?
Yeah, we had the party.
Yeah.
We had the good stuff.
Yeah, none of the responsibility, none of the work. It was just drinking and meeting nice people and having a good time.
Yeah, it was a great time. And it was nice to sort of see the other side of it, because last year I was a caster at NAC. I don't think I was there the whole time again, but I was in the apartment, I was casting, and this time to sort of step back a little bit, relax, enjoy my time in Hamburg, see the city. Last time I didn't get to see the city. You know, I felt a bit sad because I was there for some time and I didn't see anything that Hamburg had to offer.
Yeah, well, because I think last time they were doing later nights as well.
Yeah.
I think everyone was out drinking most nights and going to bed at 3 or 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Nili was a little bit stricter this time on, you know, not going too overboard.
Definitely.
During, especially the early parts of the week.
Yeah, right. I mean, you don't want to get into bad habits at the start of the week and then have everything derail by the end.
When you get used to waking up at midday, you can't really do anything before the game starts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we basically stayed around Nili's apartment last time, but this time I was able to explore the Hamburg and see Hamburg, which is an amazing city. Yeah. And I guess we'll talk about Hamburg in more detail a bit later.
A little bit.
When we get to sort of the random highlights that we did. But as far as NAC1 versus NAC2 goes, definitely a step up in production.
Yep.
Big step up.
Basically everywhere, everything's gone up. Nili's outdone himself.
Yeah.
Again, yeah.
I mean, when is he going to stop? He's just going to keep going.
NAC3, he's going to get a bigger apartment. He's going to invite, 40 of the best players, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, he's going to be in the biggest house in Hamburg.
Yeah.
It'll be a mansion.
Yeah.
There'll be a swimming pool outside.
And it'll be like a month-long tournament where everybody just comes and hangs out.
Exactly. Everyone just lives there.
Yeah.
And it'll be awesome. I think, you know, you've got to be careful if you're Nili. You've got to keep that apartment cup feel.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
I think that's kind of what gives it the charm. You know, it is someone's apartment.
Yeah.
It is more sort of relaxed and laid back. Although the games are obviously competitive and serious, but the atmosphere is chilled out. And that's what gives the Nili's Apartment Cup the apartment feel.
Yeah. Especially when you see people just sitting on the couches in like the viewing room.
Yeah, lounging.
It's very much a relaxed group of people just chilling out, watching their friends play Age of Empires.
Yeah. And that's kind of what it is like when you're watching Age of Empires at home or you know, with your friends, just chilling out, maybe sitting in the lounge watching on TV, as I know some people do for ECL and other events. Yeah. I've seen people tweeting at me like,
pictures of it,
just settling in.
Oh, that's cool.
Got a bevy, got some food.
Well, we were doing that as well in our apartment that we were staying in on basically most of the evenings.
Yeah.
Like we'd sit down and have some drinks and watch the last set of the day before we went out to meet people, which was pretty cool.
Cool. And I think for me personally, I didn't see many of the games because I was busy.
Yeah, neither did I.
And you know, we were in Hamburg, we were having a good time. I think if you want to enjoy the games, stay at home, I would say.
Probably, yeah.
But if you want to meet the community and you want to, you know, meet your friends and have fun, definitely go.
Oh, for sure. And honestly, I think coming is probably, if you can afford it, it's probably the better choice. Because you can always just watch the streams back later. Yeah, of course, you can always watch the streams back later. But you can't
yeah, that's true.
Come to the meetup, you know, 2 weeks later or something.
No, I mean the meetup is really the highlight for me at least.
Definitely, it's like the real selling point, I think, for most people. If you're not one of the players or the casters. Yeah,
and I think the games are really just like the backdrop or the motive to go and
meet people. Right?
You know, it brings people together.
It's a perfect excuse for people to just go have a holiday in Germany.
Excuse.
Yeah, excuse.
Yeah, right. So like, that's nice. And as far as like NAC1 versus NAC2 goes, the production, as we said, obviously a lot better. They had more microphones. They'd improved the overlays a little bit. Nili was a bit stricter on who could go in the apartment. And that kind of made it so that the players, I guess, were more focused, less distracted. They sort of would stay in the apartment more.
Instead of trying to get away from all the random people that are kind of coming in to meet them and hang out. Yeah. That's fair enough.
And then obviously the viewer numbers, which from NAC1 were pretty much double, I think, at peak.
Yeah, I think NAC1 he peaked at about 6,500.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
This had, I think, 12-ish.
Yeah, just about 12.
At peak I think it was on a Tuesday.
Yeah, on Tuesday night.
Yeah. So obviously the viewer numbers were huge.
Yeah, it was really good for Age of Empires. Getting to that height, right? 12,000 people is just massive for our game.
Well, I made a prediction. I made a prediction last year saying that the ECL Grand Finals would get 10K viewers.
Okay.
And I really believed it was possible to get 10K.
Okay, well...
And now Nili's proved that it is possible. I was expecting at some point in the next, either 2018 or 2019, to have that landmark or that sort of peak. And 12K is huge.
Yeah.
Definitely helps having the front page and coordinating with Twitch and
RBTV as well.
Yeah, exactly. Rocket Beans TV definitely bringing in a lot of viewers as well, and that's really important. You know, having the collaboration between other content creators with Twitch itself, getting the promo in the launcher.
Oh, you know, that's always big as well.
All of these things definitely helping out.
Yeah. Well, Nili just did a really good job, basically.
Yeah.
Setting everything up.
What else do you think contributed to viewer numbers? I think the game as a whole has been growing over 2018 considerably.
Yeah, true. Yo, so many people have bought the game on Steam to begin with, right? It's like 5 million-ish sales.
Probably closer to 6 million now.
So
yeah.
A huge chunk of the world has it.
Oh, actually, sorry to interrupt, but we had an all-time player record on AoE HD a couple of months ago.
Okay.
I think it was for the winter sale.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Steam puts Age of Empires on sale 3 or 4 times a year. And on the winter sale, whenever there's a sale, there's always a spike in players.
For every game.
We set a new record for concurrent HD players, which means that not only are there more people watching, but more people are playing than ever right now on Steam.
which is excellent, right? And then that will sort of filter down to people watching as well, right?
Yeah.
Because you're playing the game like, oh, you know, are there any other people who play this game?
Yeah.
Are there places that I can meet them? Right?
Yeah, maybe
like
you're aware of Twitch and you look into Twitch.
Yeah.
Or maybe you search in YouTube for a tutorial and you find the Fast Castle tutorial. And then you become part of the community. Who knows? So there's definitely a lot more people watching in general. Yeah. And obviously the bigger base of people there are, the larger these peaks are going to be.
Oh, of course, of course.
Yeah.
It's all just sort of coming together, right? Like 5, 6 years of work, it's all just slowly building and building and building.
For sure. It's the, you know, I'm reading a book at the moment about habits, because forming good habits is a really important sort of thing to be able to do.
I don't do that.
Well, it's hard. It's really hard to make a new habit and to break an old habit. It's really difficult. And this book sort of talks about the ways in which you can approach, you know, changing your habits, fixing your habits for the better. And it really concentrates on the philosophy that a 1% improvement every day.
Yeah.
You get very small results at first.
Right.
1% improvement is a small amount. But when you go
I'm going to do an internet
every day, it compounds. You know, by the end of the year, those 1% increments, they seem very small, but suddenly they start to make bigger and bigger jumps, and that's kind of...
By the end of the year, it's 400%, right?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And it's definitely an additive effect. So all of this work that people have done in the community over the last 6 years, it's all adding up. It's all, you know, all that content. You know, it's like a big net. See, I look at the content that's created by anyone who makes content for Age of Empires. No matter how big or small, they're casting a net.
Right.
You know, it's like, and someone somewhere on the internet, or somehow they will find that content, and then from that they will link it to other pieces of content, and eventually, who knows, they might sort of get to the epicenter, which is like, you know, what I consider like the core of the community, the hardcore players,
the competitive scene.
Yeah, the competitive scene is really your hardcore fans. But nowadays as well, with Twitch and with that growing, you definitely have more viewers who are hardcore viewers. Yeah. Like I was meeting people at the meet and greet who were saying, you know what, I don't even play the game. I'm just a hardcore viewer.
I just like watching it.
Yeah.
For the nostalgia and the entertainment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, meet and greet. What was your experience of the meet and greet, Robo?
Basically, like, it was pure shock to begin with. Like, I get there and the place is so full that there's, you know, 20, 30 people standing out the front because they basically can't get in. It's like, how are there this many Age of Empires people in one place?
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. Because, like, at Gamescom, I thought it was insane, and we had 50...
Well, Gamescom also had, like, the additional 200,000 people.
But I mean, like the Gamescom meet that Nili organized, like, at the football place.
Oh,
and the people who stood around all day watching the games,
I know
right?
what you mean, yeah.
50-ish people, probably, and I thought, you know, that's pretty good. That's good. But this was just insane. There's 150, 200 people in this tiny little bar. We drank them out of beer 2 or 3 times, I think.
The whole bar ran out of beer.
Yeah.
And then they went to the shop to buy more.
Yeah.
And then they drank that. And then they went to the shop to buy more, and they drank that. Yeah. And then they went to the shop to buy more, and they drank that. And then they said, sorry guys, you're going to have to go somewhere else.
Yeah, there's no more beer.
We've got no more beer left. We
can't do anything.
Yeah, it was a Sunday. Sorry, was it a Saturday?
It was a Saturday night, yeah.
It was Saturday night. So there was lots of places open in Hamburg. It's a really vibrant city, lots going on. But yeah, meet and greet was insane. So the venue was kind of smallish for the number of people that were there.
Yeah, true.
You know,
I don't think Nili expected that many people.
No.
Right, I think he was probably thinking, you know, 100 people would be fair, and that probably would fit in perfectly fine.
And then there was about 250, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. Like throughout the night, people would come
coming
and go.
in, going in.
Yeah. I got there quite late, actually, and I remember turning up, and you were sort of standing out front.
Yeah.
And I arrived. There was a group of people out the front who sort of wanted to shake my hand and get autographs and chat to me.
Yeah.
And it took me nearly 45 minutes to get in the door because every time I was carrying my coat and I wanted to put my coat inside, you know, so I didn't have to carry it. And every single time that I tried to go in, someone would come out and be like, "Oh, you're ZeroEmpires, nice to meet you." And then I was like, "All right, let's chat." And you know, I spent maybe 3.5 hours just talking to people
it's insane.
before everyone left eventually. So it was kind of intense.
It's kind of surreal, just like people knowing who I was.
Yeah, right.
I don't feel like I'm that well known. It's like, oh, you're Robo, thank you for all your work. I'm like, yeah, cool.
But it also was a great opportunity at the meet and greet to meet Barbecue Turkman, Ornlu, you know, other people that I've not met before. I mean, I think I've met most people before
that have been to like these sort of European
events. But I've not met Barbecue, I've not met Ornlu, so it was great to see them.
It was cool to see Nikov as well.
Oh yeah, I met Nikov the night before.
Yeah.
And
also Fire.
Actually, no, I don't think I spoke to Fire. I didn't see Fire.
Lovely. Fire's so good. You missed out there.
Damn it, I missed out. Yeah, I mean, it was impossible to speak to absolutely everyone. There's just too many people to speak to everyone. Yeah. But anyone who wanted to talk definitely got the opportunity to talk.
Yeah, if they came up to you and chatted, I think most people were happy to talk about Age of Empires for a while. Because we all love the game, right?
Exactly, and that's a nice thing, right? If you ever run out of anything to say at an Age of Empires meetup, just start talking about Age of Empires. Yeah. Believe it or not, it works.
Yeah, everybody else knows about it too.
Exactly, you've always got something in common.
Conversation starter.
But you know, I think like a lot of the Age of Empires community have other things in common as well. I find it really easy to talk to Age of Empires people. Yeah. You know, people who play this game, people who are invested in this game, and a lot of the time, you know, I'm not the kind of person that wants to stand and talk about myself all night. So I'd ask them, you know, where are you from? What are you doing? How did you get into the game? Yeah. And I can stand there or sit there and listen to people and hear what they have to say, and save my voice a little bit. They're getting pretty rowdy.
Yeah, they're getting really loud now.
It's lively in the CrossFit gym.
This is the CrossFit gym next door, which is a little loud.
It's intense. Yeah. It's okay. It's just motivating.
Yeah. Maybe Zach will do an IRL stream there one day, trying to get fit.
Yeah. Try and get fit. I'm already fit, mate. Oh. What are you talking about?
I will try to get fit, maybe.
Any questions from the chat about the NAC? Oh, we've got some pictures. Look at that. We've got pictures on the screen. We've got. Oh, it looks like are these Livia's?
Yeah, these are Livia's pictures.
Oh, right. So we've got some official. Well, I say official. Livia is usually the person taking photos.
Yep.
So. Who have we got there? We've got Hank on the left.
Yep, and Tarzes and Turkman at the end.
There's Turkman, yeah. Oh, look at that beautiful picture coming up.
There's
That's Sci-Fly on the left and Barbecue Turkman on the right.
So a lot of these photos are sort of just from our squad house as well. So it's not all from the meetup.
Yeah, so that's Pyramid Stiff on the left.
Yep.
You've got Pete in the middle, Paranoid Pete, and you've got Dehis on the right.
Paranoid Pete, yep.
And some food, I guess. This is your house food.
Yep, this is the food that Livia cooks for us. As well as taking good pictures, she also cooks excellently.
Yeah, Livia's just amazing. Yeah. She's such a great person. Who's that?
Oh, I think that's me. I was really enjoying this apple drink that everybody else said was disgusting, but I thought it was amazing.
All right, there we go. Now we've got to the Thursday night.
This is the Friday night at Copacabana.
Oh, sorry, Friday night at Copacabana. Wait, go back up. We need to name people here. So the picture on the right, obviously, you've got Viper trying to eat Debbie.
Okay.
And then you've got Adet in the foreground.
Yes.
And then on the left, you've got some people in the back. And then these two guys in the middle, I met them. And the guy on the left with the funky shirt, he bought me a drink. Very nice guy. I'm trying to remember his name. It began with P, I think. You have to excuse me. I met so many people,
I don't know.
But they were really nice. And he was saying that he was like, got into Age of Empires through my videos, which was really cool. Yeah. And that it was awesome for them to meet everyone because he's into two things in life. He's into tennis and he's into Age of Empires.
Oh, that's cool.
And he never gets to meet his tennis stars, but he did get to meet me and Viper and the players, and so he was really happy about that.
That's cool. So we've got Elfish on the right there. We just went past Elfish Pog. I think that is now an emote on Twitch if anybody wants to sub to him.
Yeah, we got a lot more. Oh, that's Eddie. That's Eddie.
That's a pretty good one of Eddie.
We've got, we're going a bit fast. On the right side there, looking goofy as ever, we've got Ivik, not looking so goofy, and Please Be Gentle, the famous Black Forest player.
And the cooking streams. The amazing
cooking streams. He did the original cooking stream. You've got Adet and MBL on the left.
Yep.
And then you've got...
this This
well,
is
we're
Abraxas.
continuing on. So we've got Abraxas
And Nikov.
and Nikov. And there he is. Memb on the right side there with Hank.
Yeah. Oh, and now we're at the karaoke bar. Whew.
Oh, that's the karaoke bar, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep, this is where we went Friday
night. On the
night.
left side, we've got Tarantula there in the middle. And who's to his left? Can't remember. Can't remember.
Too many names, too much alcohol.
There we go. So we went to a karaoke bar. That was really fun. There's Stiff singing with Maggie and Scarface singing their hearts out. Look.
Yep. Stiff sort of stole the show there with that song, I think.
Oh my goodness, that picture. So many great pictures. Ivik and Robo. It was really, really crammed in there.
Yeah. There was about 50 of us in the karaoke bar, and there was no space whatsoever.
Everyone's having a great time. Lots of emotions. Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh,
that's
Project
me
Belgium.
And
the good Bug'em.
I was really into that song, obviously.
Yeah. By the end of the night, I didn't have much voice left.
Oh, and then on the left side there, we've got
John the Late or Alexiev,
and we've got N6 Mike.
Yep.
And then on the right side, there's me, Eddie, and Bug'em doing shots.
Nice.
And me and Memb. It was really cool to meet Memb actually. That was awesome. And oh, look, it's the duet. We've got Robo and Maggie doing the duet,
singing Taylor Swift.
And then the Memb ZeroEmpires Titanic.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Titanic. It was awesome, but we did sing Celine Dion.
You also sang.
Hey, look at that.
Flow and Trirem.
Good.
That's a good one. So this is us watching the grand final on the Sunday.
Was that your house?
Yeah.
Looks
like the living room.
Yeah,
there's like a upstairs rooms or like beds basically in like a
looks
loft.
Like an escape room.
Yeah, kind of.
Pretty cool. Okay. Oh, look, there's Tato looking beautiful as ever. And that's the meetup. These are the meetup photos now.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of people here. Doubt standing out from the crowd.
Down Jordan. Oh, look at those teeth.
Jordan,
that
23.
Lovely smile.
That's $1 million smile. That.
Oh yes, it is. Oh, and there's Fire, the Godfather there.
Oh yeah, that's a great picture actually.
That's Sci-Fly and Dopina. I can see Clemenceau on the top left photo.
Yep.
Hightower's the really tall guy.
Hightower, yeah, he's the one on the left standing high above everyone else.
Yep.
Nimino
and LB10.
And LB10.
And we see the Viper again. Oh, Snape Snaps and
Scarface. And there was a lot of Rocket Beans people there that I didn't really know.
We see Nili as well for the first time.
What is that for an angle? Who took that?
That was Livia, of course.
That's like a chin photo. Oh, sorry, Livia.
I'm making it with Turkmen, man. Leave me alone.
That's Donnie. Did get to bump into Donnie, which was cool. Oh, look, doing the gang signs there. That's Reaper. And there's Nili with I didn't
can't remember her name, but she came all the way from.
She came
Taiwan,
not Taiwan,
Hong Kong. Hong Kong,
she
yeah,
came from
just
Hong
for the
Kong
meetup,
just to come for this.
Yeah, that was insane.
Before going on to the Netherlands, and we're back.
And we're
back in the living room. I guess that was the end of the photos.
Yeah, I think so.
So awesome pics as always from Livia there.
Livia did a good job.
She always does a great job. She did some pictures from the studio here as well.
Mm-hmm. We should probably share them around at some point.
Yeah, we should really. Well, actually, some people didn't like the idea of having their picture shown.
Well, we could go through and pick out individual ones maybe.
It'll be fine. So what was your highlights of NAC? And
basically everything involving meeting new people.
Yeah.
So many like names that I know from Twitch chats and AoE Zone and Reddit and games and stuff.
That happened a lot actually.
Now I know who they are.
Yeah, that happened a lot. It's like they were like, "Oh, nice to meet you, ZeroEmpires." I was like, "Nice to meet you. Who are you?"
Yeah.
And then I'd see that, and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm so and so." I was like, "Oh, I know that name."
Yeah, right.
That's
like,
cool.
Even some people like you don't know who they are, but like you vaguely recognize the name.
Right.
Because like you've seen them in Twitch chats before. Like you don't really know who they are, but it's still cool to meet people that you know. Kind of.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. Other highlights? Anything else?
Not exactly related to NAC, but Squad, which is like my clan, we went to an escape room on the Monday afternoon, which was pretty fun. Yeah,
cool. First escape room for you?
First escape room for all of us, actually.
Oh, for all of you?
Yep.
Wow, I'm surprised.
We finished the hardest one that they had with like 2 minutes left on the clock, so we were pretty pumped. Like, yes.
You're going to be like a pro escape room team now.
Oh, maybe.
You know, I always thought Escape Gaming could do like on-location filming at escape rooms.
The thing is, I think most of them don't allow that because they don't want you to show how to answer the questions, right? Because like they said to us, like Olivia wanted to take photos, and they said you can't take photos.
Okay, we make our own escape room then. We've got enough space.
True.
Bring it on.
Yep. Okay.
Bring it on.
That's a big promise, but okay.
Sorry, what was that?
That's a big promise to try to do.
It's not a promise.
Oh, okay.
It's an idea.
It's an idea. Okay.
It's on the drawing board.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's something I'm thinking about. Because what you could do is you could have an escape room, right? Like imagine this for a show. I think this could be a good TV show. I don't know why no one's doing this yet. Maybe they are, because I don't watch TV. But
maybe
if they're not, they should. You have an escape room.
Yep.
It's loaded with cameras. You get a bunch of teams to apply to come on your show and try and beat the escape room in the fastest time possible.
Okay.
You mic them all up, you film it, and then you put together a whole season of, let's say, 12 episodes or 10 episodes of teams trying to, you could have celebrity teams, could be really fun, right?
Yeah.
They all do the escape room, you have a leaderboard, and then you change the escape room for the next season. Why is that not a thing?
I feel like it has to be somewhere.
Can we just do that?
Can
we just
like the Ninja Warrior things are out there, right?
Yeah,
so like they try to do like obstacle courses and teams and stuff.
Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah.
You know, Ninja Warrior.
There has to be. I'm sure there has to be one, right? Like,
if there's not, I'm the man.
Copyrighted.
Come to me.
Yeah.
I will sell you the permission to do that, I guess.
Yeah.
Or we do it. We could do it. Why don't we do it?
With our huge budget that we have.
Good point.
Yeah. Does anybody want to donate a couple of
Look, we'll just tear
for
out
us?
the studio stuff and build this instead. Easy.
Yeah. Escape
I
TV.
tell you, that's all we need is that one big hit.
We don't even need to change the name. It's Escape TV,
no, we just
right?
stay as Escape TV. It's
you just need
so
Escape the TV.
logical.
Perfect.
Right. So my highlights from NAC2. So obviously meeting people, don't really need to go into too much detail.
No, we've gone over that already.
That's just awesome.
Yep.
A great thing to do. And then seeing Hamburg, because I'd never really seen Hamburg before.
Okay.
And it was an opportunity to see the city. And it is a really nice city.
It is. It's pretty cool.
It's really diverse.
Especially like along the harbour fronts.
Yeah.
I think it's just so nice to just walk down there.
Yeah.
You get to have a look at the big ugly Philharmonic building, which sort of ruins the landscape, I think. But just all the other buildings.
Loads of boats.
Yeah.
Sailboats, you know, ferries, little things.
Didn't you go to a pirate-themed bar? Not a pirate, just like a shipwreck sort of theme place?
So St. Pauli or Pauli has it's an area of Hamburg, and they've got really lots of small quirky places. And me and Nadia Lavihead, we went for lunch, and we went to this really cool. It wasn't like a pirate bar, but it was very nautical themed. Okay. And we sat and we had some food there and a coffee. It was so good. It's just, if you know anything about me, I love pirates and nautical stuff. I'm really into it. And that place was just amazing. And there was so much of that around Hamburg. I really enjoyed that. And then the other standout thing for me in Hamburg was the Miniature Wonderland.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
You didn't go this year, did you?
I went, it would have been January last year.
Okay.
After one of our meetups, I went to hang out with Nili for a couple of days. And yeah, I went to the Miniature Wonderland.
Awesome.
It's so
it's
cool.
Insane. If you're ever in Hamburg,
you have to
go to the Miniature Wonderland. It will blow your mind.
Yeah, it's insane. Like you just sit there looking at a big, scene model, and the more you look at it, the more you notice.
Yeah.
Right?
There's tons of detail.
You see, there'll be a picnic over there, and there might be a bear or something in the forest coming towards them, or crazy tiny details everywhere.
You can press.
Yeah, to make things happen.
I mean, I went in and I saw the first one, and I was like, oh my god. This is insane. Right. I was like, holy crap, this is just what? And then it started, and then there's a day-night cycle. I went in, it was day, and it started getting dark. I was like, oh my god, it's getting dark. Why is it getting dark? And then the lights started coming on. I was like, oh my god, there's lights. And then the next thing happened, and the next thing. And then 2.5 hours later, I was still going, oh my god, have you seen this? That's so cool.
Right, and at the airport, and the Millennium Falcon comes through.
Yeah, I couldn't contain my excitement for that place. Yeah. And 2.5 hours was not long enough. No. I needed to be there for longer.
Yeah, you probably want to spend a whole day. If that's your sort of thing and you've got the stamina to do it, you want to go for most of the day, I think.
Yeah, it's a lot of standing, but I'd say 5 hours minimum if you really want to enjoy everything that's there. It's insane. Not really NAC2 related, but...
No, it's in the same place.
Yeah, it's next door to it.
Yeah.
Also went out for a really nice meal that night and had a good time. just in general, being in Hamburg, meeting people. On Friday, I wanted to get really drunk. That was my goal.
At the karaoke bar.
Not even at the karaoke, just in general.
Yeah.
Right, but no one was drinking. So I was buying shots. I bought 3 shots, one for me, one for Eddie, and one for Fire Nation, not Fire Nation, sorry, Project Belgium. And we did the shots, and I was like, oh, let's get more shots. Let's get everyone in. So then we got one for Memb, and we got one for other people, and then we did more, and I was like, this is going to be great. I'm going to get drunk. I came here to get drunk. And then everyone was like stopping drinking. No one wanted to carry on drinking.
Yeah, because everybody knew that Saturday was happening.
I know. And then Saturday came, and people kind of drank the place out. So.
Yeah, right?
But I was like, Friday night, I wanted to, because I stayed in a hotel that was next to the central station. It was like you come out of Hamburg Central Station and my hotel was right there. And I thought to myself, this is great. I can get as drunk as I like and I'll always be able to find my way back.
Catch the train back there, you get off and you just walk right in.
You cannot get lost. It's impossible.
Well, you fall asleep on the train and you just keep going.
I let myself down. Anyway, final thing about NAC2, best caster combos. There was a poll on AoE Zone.
There was?
For the best caster combos during NAC2. We're going to review the results and we're going to talk a little bit about that. As you can tell, this is more of a community podcast focusing on the community side of it, not so much about the games, more about the happenings around the game.
Exactly. Like, we don't really care about the results. Well, we do, but not today.
I can't say that.
we obviously
what do you
do
mean
it.
You don't care about
not
the results?
Not for this segment. This segment.
Not in this segment. We care about the results, but not now.
Not now. We will care about them more another day.
Another day.
Another day.
Care another day.
When we do a competitive news podcast.
From Robo.
Yeah.
All right. Best caster combos.
Okay, so the highest polling result.
Maybe we do it in reverse order. Who was the least favorite caster combo
there's about
at NAC2?
20 different options here. Ish.
Do the top 5 in reverse order.
Okay, let me just count. Let me just work out which ones are at the top.
We should have been more prepared.
We should have been so much more prepared.
It's fine.
It'd be far easier
to. The poll.
Oh yeah, well we're looking at the poll. Okay, we know what we're looking at. It would be easiest to start at the top, but okay, I'll work this out for you.
Yeah. In 5.
Okay, so in 5th place we have Nili and Doubt.
Nili and
which
Doubt.
casted Tato versus Jordan on the first day with 31 votes, which is 9%.
9%. So Nili and Doubt, 5th best caster combo. Interesting. I think that's an interesting one. I can imagine that Doubt's just trying to, Doubt's being Doubt, just, having fun, not taking it too seriously. Nili's probably trying to, bring the focus back to the game, but also really enjoying the fact that he gets to sit next to Doubt and cast a game. So it's definitely a good combo.
Yeah, that was. Well, I didn't actually see these games, so I've got absolutely no idea. But knowing the 2 personalities involved, I think it would be pretty funny. Because I think Doubt would say something, trying to just be funny, and Nili's just like, no, no. And I think they'd banter off each other pretty well like that. And obviously a lot of
knowledge between them as well.
Yeah. Okay, so next in the rankings, we have Turkmen and Memb, who casted the Viper and Leary on day 4.
Turkmen and Memb,
with
that's
11%
like hype
of the votes.
Overload.
Yeah, right.
If you want the hypest cast possible, it's Nili and Memb. I meant Barbecue Turkmen and Memb. I got a bit distracted because the scene changed and it's on our big TV. I mean, Memb is just off the charts anyway, but the fact that he was at NAC2 was like even more hype for him. And then Barbecue Turkmen is always bringing the flavor.
He's always got that just energy.
The energy,
ready to go,
the raw energy.
Yeah,
exactly. So that is, I think, maybe not the best because people do want to find a nice balance between sort of hype and insight. But man, the hype of those guys kicking it to the next level.
So good. Oh, random person 742. Thank you for subscribing for 4 months now. 4 months quietly AoE creeping. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we got Doubt and Jordan, just slightly ahead of Turkmen and Memb.
Doubt and Jordan in 2nd place. 3rd place. That's 3rd.
3rd, hopefully. Actually, no, this is 4th. I started at number 6.
Oh, whoops. Well, okay. So in
4th place,
it's Doubt and Jordan.
Yep.
And again, I think Jordan is a great caster.
Yeah, and he's a very, I guess, open personality. Like, he gets on well with everyone, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can sit down with Jordan and you can have a chat.
Yeah.
Anytime. You know,
Basically.
he's easy to talk to. He's got good game knowledge, and he's probably, you know, he's a little bit more focused on the game, but he's, you know, he's also in there with the inside jokes, you know, he's got the secret synergy going on.
Right,
with,
yeah, especially when you're casting the teammates.
Yeah.
Which actually in this game they weren't. But if they were, right, they'd have all their little jokes from when, you know, they're practicing and preparing for tournaments and, you know, the 6-year history that they all have together, which would be pretty good.
And I think Dao, I mean, completely honest, I don't think Dao is the best caster when it comes to casting.
No, not for casting.
But he's a great personality to have
as the extra guy.
The presence of.
Yeah.
You know, so he with anyone can always be entertaining, no matter what.
Yeah, for sure.
It just depends on how much you care about the details of the game.
Right. Like, I will admit, some of the casting, I'm like, I can see that there's stuff happening and I want you to look at it.
Yeah.
But mostly, I think it worked out.
Well,
there's enough of a balance.
That was one of the biggest criticisms of NAC. And it's a bit of a Marmite situation. You either love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
But the sort of drunk casting, the really sort of like, you know, the banter casting, where it's really more about the casters than the game.
Yeah.
That's a little bit more of a controversial topic because everyone's there for the game and the casters kind of make it about themselves, which if it wasn't Doubt and Jordan and Tato and Viper, you know, then that wouldn't be so cool. But because it's them, a lot of people are like, yeah, this is cool because you don't see this.
But like, I'm not sure if this is a popular or unpopular opinion, but like, I'm here to watch these tournament games. Like, if I really want to see this much silly banter, I could just watch their streams. Like, some banter is obviously fine, but like when they're not talking about the game for 5 minutes at a time, that's a little bit of a turn off for me. Mostly because I'm quite competitive, I think, and like I want to be seeing what the competitive thing is that's happening. Right. Like I think when we were watching the games Wednesday night or Tuesday night, I was just sitting there like basically screaming at the TV like, there's attacking over here, look at it, go.
Please, move the camera.
Move the camera,
I
want to see it.
Yeah. You know, I do think there is actually, in general, actually a little bit of a lack of analytic commentary right now, in general, just as an observation. I think there's a lot of hype casting. I think there's a lot of very sort of like, you know, excited casting and a lot of banter. But I personally am kind of missing the good old days where casts used to be a cast and there was no like disruption. There was no notifications coming on the screen. There was no pop-ups or distractions. It was just a cast and it was a bit more analytical. And I think for newer players or people who are really wanting to see that sort of more deeper side of the game, I think that's kind of what's missing at the moment.
Well, yeah, for me personally, that's definitely what I want to be seeing.
Right.
Because like if it's just the banter, I could, in theory, just watch the games myself and listen to them chatting in the background.
But that might be just a minority of people who want that.
There could be.
I do feel like that is something that is maybe lacking a little bit in general. Not to say that what we have now is a bad thing at all, which it's not, but just, you know, if we have more breadth of variety of what content is available, then we just tick a few more boxes.
Could be.
So the third in 3.
Third, we have Doubt and Fire.
Doubt and Fire.
So Doubt's showing up quite a bit now.
Doubt's in like what, 3 out of 6 so far?
He's on 2?
No, 2 out of 6.
No, 3. Yeah, sorry. He was with Nili.
Yeah.
And he was with Fire, and he was with
Jordan as well.
Yeah.
So basically, Doubt with anyone
3
is
out of
a
the 4
popular
so
combo.
far. Yeah.
Is that just because Doubt wins every poll, or because people genuinely like Doubt with other people?
It's hard to say.
It's almost like a bit of a meme at this point.
Yeah, just vote for Doubt, basically.
But I do think he is an enjoyable character to watch. So I could totally think that you know that's reasonable.
And I think like Fire and Doubt, they've both got a very similar, fun-loving sort of personality.
Yeah, a similar sort of like, I don't give a fuck about you kind of personality.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's kind of like, you know,
very
they do their
relaxed
thing and they don't care what anyone else thinks.
Yeah. Basically.
So there you go. Number 2.
Leary and MBL.
Leary
which casted
and
the Viper
MBL.
versus Nikov. Like, this is like the most surprising result for me.
Kinda.
Because Leary's never really streamed much at all. He streamed occasionally, and
it's a little bit more on the quiet side.
yeah,
Yeah.
So and NBL doesn't really cast that much. It's mostly playing games and shit talking his
Sort of
friends.
like high
and stuff.
focus. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wasn't really expecting it to be as good as people think it is.
Yeah, I think that one is probably the biggest surprise to me as well. But at the same time, they're both very familiar with each other, which helps. If you're casting with someone, if they're one of your closest buddies, that's great synergy right there already. And not only that, but they have a huge amount of knowledge about the game, which and because they were casting who was it? Tato?
Viper versus Nikov.
Sorry, Viper Nikov. They were also casting one of their teammates as well.
And shit talking him constantly.
So there's definitely going to be the element of banter there as well, which is nice.
Yeah.
And then the number one, winning by a margin.
A huge margin. We have Memb and Jordan, which cast an NBL versus the Viper.
Jordan.
So just to put that in perspective, they've got 62% of the vote.
Maybe we can bring that back up for the viewers.
Second place was 20%.
Sorry, how many?
60%.
62%. 62%
versus 20.
Versus 20. That's insane. That's a huge margin. They obviously, Memb's enthusiasm, and he's very knowledgeable about the game as well. Yeah. So he brings the hype, but you've also then got Jordan to sort of add that little bit extra.
Yeah.
Go above and beyond. Jordan, like we said before, really laid back guy, really easy to talk to, great combination, and casting NBL versus Viper, which is again that's a really hype match as well.
Especially considering how NAC1 went.
Yeah.
Where NBL and Viper, they had that really close series in the qualifiers, which NBL won, and then I think in the finals it went the other way. Viper just managed to beat NBL. So yeah, everything really, on the line there. Really
solid cast, and I think that's a really good thing for Memb as well, to be honest, because I think after King of the Desert, which we'll talk about next, leading into NAC, a lot of appreciation for Memb, and he's a good guy, great to meet him, and I think people are starting to sort of realize, hey, you know what, Memb's a great caster, and
and you get especially when he has other people co-casting with him. I think that takes him to the next level. Yeah,
it brings the Memb Spanglish down a little bit, and it brings up the the other side,
especially just the contrast. I think.
Yeah, the contrast.
Because you can feel Memb's vibrant energy when he's casting and getting really hyped up for mangonels and things that are happening.
Yeah.
But then you've also got him toning it down a little bit when the co-cast is also getting involved.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great combo, and I think that's really nice, and maybe a bit surprising that it was such a huge margin, but that's what the people voted.
Yeah, that's what they voted for.
Must be good.
Must be.
So King of the Desert then, since we're talking about Memb, obviously King of the Desert 2, actually.
The second one.
And I also had the pleasure of meeting Krazini while I was at the meet and greet. Krazini, well, I can't even remember how long I've known him for. It's been years. He's been involved in the community for a long time. He's helped me out in the past with various things, map making. He's got a lot of maps out there, some of which have been used in ECL.
Yes.
And he obviously administrated the tournament for Memb.
Yeah, King of the Desert 2.
And
he did an excellent job. Yeah,
I was going to say, he's done a really, really good job of adminning King of the Desert 2. And when I met him, I was saying to him, you've done a really good job. And he was like, well, I really appreciate that. But my God, was it a lot of work? Yeah. I was like, yup. And
yeah, it is.
A lot of people don't realize how much work it is to admin an event.
Yeah.
And we need more admins. We need more Krazinis. We need more Robos. But and it's so easy to sit down and be like, oh, this is shit. Oh, this should have been this way. Oh, that should have been that way. It's so easy to criticize, but it is one of the hardest jobs
to get in there and actually just do it yourself.
To especially keep on top of everything, because it's just like a constant mountain of stuff that needs to be done.
It really comes in peaks and waves. So you got the initial work where you got to set up the tournament, write the rules and settings, prepare the logos and the graphics and streaming rules and whatever. Right, that's the first huge peak where you have to get a ton of stuff done really quickly. And then when the rounds start, creating the scheduling threads, talking to the players that are too lazy to actually do the scheduling, talk to the players that are too lazy to post the recorded games, and constantly checking up on them.
A lot of stuff.
Because some of the players tend to turn into kindergarten people when it comes to keeping on track sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is quite frustrating.
And then also making the right admin decisions.
Right, yeah.
Tweaking the rules as needed, you know, taking feedback, trying to implement feedback. It's a constant cycle, and it's one that, it's a vicious cycle because it's always negative.
Pretty much.
It's always negative, and then at the end, there might be some positive.
Yeah.
But it's a hard job, so credit to Crosini for organizing that tournament and doing all of that admin work. He did a really good job of it. It looked great.
Yeah,
and
he put so much effort into making the forum posts and everything look nice.
Yeah.
Normally, I'm just like, here's all the information and just a wall of text. Read it. But he's like, you know, fancy graphics and cool colors and stuff.
But that's what we need. You know,
really
that's sort of what we need, and that's the way to make the game more professional.
Yeah, I guess.
I'd say.
And more approachable as well.
Yeah, approachable, definitely. It's not, I mean, I'm really against, I really dislike forums as a means of communication for scheduling and news and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is right now, and if we can make that as approachable as possible, then people will be more likely to engage.
Yeah, exactly.
With, you know, the tournament.
And
that's why for ECL we made the website.
Well,
because I wanted to make it
easy
really
to
clear.
look at it.
ECL just doesn't do itself any favors because it's like way complicated. But
and really long and repetitive.
That's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
King of the Desert 2, really good viewer numbers for Memb. Really good for his channel, as always. I think he was at about 600 subs before, and I think he was about 990 after.
That's a pretty good increase.
That's a 60% sub increase from King of the Desert 2. He obviously had support from Microsoft. He got a donation from Matt Seltzer, who also dropped some really big donations for Nili's tournament, which is really nice.
Yeah, 9,000 to help with the funding to begin with, and then another 10K.
10K at 10K viewers.
When they got the 10K viewers,
which is huge. So
which is really
thanks
insane.
to him for that. That's awesome.
I think Nili's pretty happy with that as well.
Yeah, I think Nili's pretty relieved that he covered his costs.
Yeah,
that's the main thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the main thing. And yeah, King of the Desert 2, in my opinion, a big success again.
Yep.
I think, you know, King of the Desert 3, it's got to happen at some point. This is going to be one of those tournaments that's on the calendar now.
Yeah.
And it comes back every year and hopefully continues to develop. And if anything, you know, one thing that's consistent between King of the Desert 2 and NAC2 is trying to push forward with presentation, professionalism, you know, features of the event, which people can enjoy.
Yeah.
Going back real quick
to
NAC2.
Okay.
One thing that I wanted to mention before, and we kind of got sidetracked, it's, like I said before, if you wanted to watch the games, if you're really invested in the games, I think it's better to watch at home.
Yeah.
Because you're not in the apartment, you don't meet the players, you don't spend time with the players, you don't get that sort of big atmosphere that you get from having the players on the stage. I remember at Gamescom, we had the players on the stage. We had a big screen. We had a crowd.
Yeah.
Stuff would happen. People would cheer. The players are there. Everything's together. That's for me the ultimate experience for a viewer.
That's true.
And although NAC2 had the meetup, and the meetup had the screen.
Well, there was like the public viewing during the days.
Yeah, that's what I mean, right? The meetup, like the viewing, they had the screen. It wasn't the same as seeing it in front of you actually happening. Yeah. And that's where I think what we're doing allows us to do something a bit more special, I hope.
Hopefully.
In the future, right?
That's the goal, right?
I want to have this place full of 200 people. You keep saying we can't fit, we can fit 200 people.
200 people's really
I want everyone to be like sardines in a can. I want them to be like this.
Ugh.
And then when a mangonel shot happens, they just wiggle around a bit because they can't get... But no, we can fit a lot of people in here. This place is huge. And I want that atmosphere of something happening and everyone can feel it.
Chat saying, you know, fire codes and health and safety. Getting 200 people in here might be a problem.
We've got fire doors. What's the problem?
One of them's covered behind garbage.
Are you telling me that place in
Hamburg
had more fire doors than us?
I don't know.
It didn't.
I didn't.
We've got 3 fire doors and 2 exits and a massive bloody whatever that is.
It's a roller door.
Garage door, roller door. Like we've got a ways out.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, 200 may be a bit ambitious, but I want to get this place full and you know, I want to feel the energy.
Get everyone excited.
Right. Moving on.
Yep.
We're going to start wrapping things up. I don't know what time it is,
It's
but I think we're
almost 7.
probably overrunning.
Yep, a little bit.
Very soon. It's okay. We've loads of time. Age of Empires 3 New World Championship.
Yes.
You may have heard of this if you're an AoE3 person. If you're not an AoE3 person and you're an AoE2 person, or someone who's watching for us and you're not into Age of Empires at all.
Yep.
Maybe there's one person out there.
What's Age of Empires?
The Age of Empires 3 New World Championship is our upcoming AoE3 LAN event.
Yes.
Specifically for AoE3.
Yep.
The first LAN event since 2007?
2008.
2008.
From the World Cyber Games in 2008.
Yeah.
So it's over a decade later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a decade later.
Vibes.
And we wanted to give Age of Empires 3 some love.
Basically.
We didn't want to just, you know, Age of Empires 2, Age of Empires 2, Age of Empires 2. Age of Empires 2 is big. Age of Empires 2 is where our hearts are, at least mine and Robo's.
Yeah.
But we bought Interjection.
I'm slowly moving into AoE3.
You are. I actually have I really love the game.
Yeah.
I've just never really been that into it as a competitive game.
Like I remember playing it as a kid and, you know, looking at the cannons and the trees and like how cool the graphics were.
It's nice.
But just never got into it as much as AoE2.
Yeah. So we brought Interjection onto the team. And we brought him in for that AoE3 element.
Yeah. Also, and he's just a good personality as well.
Yeah, that too. That too. But really, we just wanted him for Age of Empires. He's all round a great guy, but he has got the Age of Empires 3 expertise, knowledge, and he is the most well-known caster in the game.
Yep.
We're going to be bringing 8 of the Age of Empires 3 best players. They will qualify through a double elimination bracket.
Yep.
And the top 8 will come to the studio to play on LAN for the first time in over 10 years.
That's the plan.
And we plan to have a $4,000 prize pool.
Yep.
We'll cover all of their expenses, and hopefully it will be a really memorable and awesome event. The information for that is on the ESOC community website. That's eso-community.net.
I think that's right. That sounds right.
I'm just trying to remember what Will always says. But he'll post it in the chat, I'm sure, if he's listening.
We've got a command for that, I think.
And the news post is there. There'll be more information about that in March, I believe.
There's already one information post out on ESOC at the moment. And then there's going to be another one, hopefully around the 1st of March, with more details about the LAN and finalize all the details.
Exactly, basically. And how you can come here and sit with me on this sofa.
Yeah.
Because that's really why you're here, not for
AoE3.
Not for AoE3. So AoE3 New World Championship, upcoming LAN event, that will be, we've not said when it will be.
That's true, that's true. So the sign-ups close at the end of March, and we've got the double elimination qualifiers starting in April, May, and then the LAN will be in July. I believe it's July. The 10th through the 14th.
Yeah.
Those will be the game days, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so all the information is in the news post. Apologies if we got anything wrong, but that's something to look forward to for the summer.
Yep.
And AoE2, upcoming events.
Yes.
We're kind of at a point right now where we've had King of the Desert 2, we've had NAC2.
Yep.
ECL is like always happening.
Yeah, always happening.
Forever.
It's ongoing all the time.
And now there's kind of like this, woo, there's nothing going on.
Well, like we've just like been peaking like over the past month with like the King of the Desert finals and then NAC2 instantly afterwards, basically. So I think it's kind of okay,
down eventually,
right, to have, you know, a couple of weeks for everyone to say, we've had a really good month. You know, let's just like regroup and get ready for the next
regroup.
Regroup.
Get back in for another go.
Get ready for the next one.
Yeah, so there's not really anything on the horizon at the moment in terms of like big tournaments that have been announced.
Nothing that's like officially announced. Like T90's been talking about doing another Hidden Cup.
Yep.
So that's probably going to happen at some point.
It makes sense that he'll do a Hidden Cup this year.
Yeah, Hidden Cup
if he's going to do another one, which he's taken feedback and everything, we assume it'll be this year. I don't know when, but it will be, I assume, at some point in this year. So that's something that will happen, but we have no information at the moment. And then ECL will continue forever.
As it always does.
Eternally. Are you enjoying ECL? You better be.
Yeah.
Because it's never going to end.
When the Viper is old and grey, you'll still see him playing ECL.
And it's still the first one. ECL will be on Saturday, Sunday. and it will be next Saturday. And like
and
we
the
said
Saturday
at
after
the
that,
start,
and the Saturday after that.
yeah,
and
we are going to just be streaming ECL every Saturday. The dates
Almost
and
every
times
Saturday.
will be on our website, escape.gg,
Yep.
and you can look forward to that. We will be casting together,
Yes, we will this weekend.
power duo.
Whew.
You thought Memb and Jordan were good.
You haven't seen us yet.
But you've not seen us.
No.
Yeah, so we're going to be casting the 1v1 round of 16
Yep.
Saturday, tomorrow, and Sunday.
We'll be the round 16
The day
again.
after tomorrow.
We're doing half and half.
Yeah.
Just doing like the top 4 games on the first day, and then the bottom 4 games on the next day.
Yeah, and that's going to be for the Southeast Asia.
1v1s,
So we're going to
yep.
have new map pools new
Yep.
civs, hopefully.
Yes.
Depending on what gets picked.
Yeah, what gets picked.
And yeah, we're going to have fun casting that. I'm looking forward to it because the ECL games, I feel like they don't get enough credit. ECL has delivered some of the best games of 2018.
Some of them were very good.
Some of them were awesome. A lot of them were good. None were outright bad, as far as I can remember. There were maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, there were quite there were a couple of games.
Yeah, there were
that
quite a
weren't
few
good.
really bad ones, Zach.
Yeah. But like when there's that many games, you know, you're always
Trying
going
to make them watch on tomorrow.
They're all perfect.
Every single game is the best game of ZeroEmpires you've ever seen.
Every game, and then the next one's just better than the last one,
Yep.
and the next, and the next.
Yep,
Just
exactly.
Keeps going constantly.
And
And Will's
just walked past and sort of like
touched the window.
stroked the window and then walked off again.
I think he's telling us to wrap it up.
Yeah, probably. Or
Yeah.
he's wondering why the heater's not on. There's also something else coming. Did I phrase that right?
I think so.
We're working on some other stuff next to ECL. Obviously, we're in a studio. We've got our physical location. The LAN for ECL, we have no information.
Nope.
I don't know if it's going to be here. If it's not here, we'll announce the information about that when it comes to us.
Yep.
Microsoft have to decide
Yeah.
where it will
we
be.
have to work with Microsoft to work out the
Exactly.
details, basically. We can't just say, you know, we're going to do it here.
Yeah, there's a vague possibility that ECL can be here, or it can be here,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's likely that they'll want it to be here. We will see. So that's an unknown. But because we have got our studio, because we're doing an AoE3 LAN, we obviously have to do more AoE2 stuff as well. Information coming soon.
Yeah. Soon.
Yeah, and
GM.
other than that, I've got one more thing written down, and that is that I will be streaming again soon, next week. And
Nice.
Robo is thinking about streaming but doesn't have a setup yet, but he wants to do it.
Yeah, maybe. From my little
maybe.
desk, but it's like literally sitting in my closet because there's
That's
no
actually
space in my room.
hilarious, yeah.
Right? It's so good.
So Robo's room's kind of small, but
it's
it's
very,
not small.
very small.
It's not small.
Oh, okay. No, okay, that's true. Okay.
Your room isn't small.
No.
The problem with Robo's room is that the closet takes up like 30% of it.
And also, I've got 2 single beds in there next to each other because that's just how the room came.
You could just take a bed out because
could
you've
do
got
that.
2 beds in your room.
Yeah, I could get rid of one of the beds, but like at the moment, it's kind of cool that the desk is like in the closet, so I just open the doors and just sit down and go.
Yeah.
That's-
Because I walked past your room the other day, and I was like, where's Robo? He's not downstairs. And I couldn't see you in your room. And I was like, Will, where's Robo? He's like, oh, he's in his closet. I was like,
What?
And I stuck my head around your door, and there you were, just sitting in your closet, like, you know, playing. So that's brilliant. So I'm going to start streaming again, and I'm also working on continuing the Age of Empires tutorial series.
Yep.
There's a huge amount of work that's gone into that. That's like planning. So that it makes sense, it's bite-sized,
Easy
it's
to
chronological,
learn,
and the only thing that stopped me from carrying on is having the time and the motivation
to do it.
to sit down and work on video editing for 30, 40 hours per video, depending on how intense it is.
That's a lot of editing.
And it does depend on the video. Some take more than others. But when you're working really hard on setting up the studio and doing other Age of Empires stuff all day, you don't really want to go home and do that. But now that things have sort of become more stable here and more organized, I'm confident that I'll have the time and the motivation to do it.
Cool.
That wraps it up.
I think so, yep.
Next up on the agenda, best of 2 versus Ham and Will.
Well, not versus Ham and Will, it's Ham versus Will.
Ham will be versus Will in a best of 2 Age of Empires 2 on that stage
over that way,
over there,
behind this curtain in the background.
In a minute. Do you want me to go and handle the stream, or do you want to?
I can do it.
You can handle
just
it.
Chat with.
I'm going to chat with the chat. So while Robo does that, Robo, if you want to just mute your mic. And when you go into the control room, you can switch over to that camera, and I'll know when you're ready, because I can see what the stream sees on the TV. I will answer your questions in the chat. I have the chat now. Robo was looking after it before, but I've got control of the chat now. So I will answer any questions you have before the 1v1 starts. Can we have a hard mode fast castle tutorial, please? By hard mode, do you mean sort of like a more advanced version where it's more optimal and less aimed at beginners? Or do you mean like the William Wallace tutorial hard mode where siege onagers spawn and you have to dodge them? What drama? I don't think there is any drama. Not today anyway. We will cover drama in future podcasts if there is any to cover. Where is the studio? The studio is in Manchester, or just outside of Manchester. It's kind of like Manchester's here, or it's backwards. Hold on. Manchester's here, and Liverpool is here, and the studio is where my face is. We're kind of between the two. Who is taller, Doubt or Zach? I think Doubt is taller than me by a small amount. Why was T90 not at NAC2? He didn't go pretty much for the same reason as me. NAC2 required about 14 days for the casters, so 2 weeks, and it's kind of a bit of a big time to take away. So T90, obviously his stream's going great right now, didn't want to really sort of abandon his stream while he had all the momentum of growth. So he decided to stay at home and continue streaming from his home. Zach, how do you got such a good moderator? Klarsfeld, I don't know, man. We just seem to choose really good mods on this stream, none of which seem to be in the chat right now. So I don't know what you mean about good moderator, but maybe we need some more. Zach denying drama. New drama post tomorrow. Stay tuned. Yeah, man. Mr. Fluffy, there's always some kind of drama. It's just whether or not it's being talked about. But AoE Zone is the place to be. Cheshire, basically. Lancashire, technically. And it looks like we've got Ham and Will over on the casting stage. Not the casting stage, on the playing stage. And I'm going to switch it over to them in just a second. Hopefully you'll be able to hear them. I'll chuck it over to them now, and they can take it away